Hello and welcome to We Are the Famous EFC with me, Adam, and this is your match preview. Everton versus Arsenal at Goodison Park. A 12:30 kickoff and an early kickoff for Everton at Goodison Park. Everton are coming off the first defeat in a long time under David Moyes. So let's get straight into it. A 12:30 kickoff, and we haven't had a 12:30 lunchtime kickoff in a very, very long time on a Saturday afternoon in what is going to be a sunny afternoon. So let's get straight into it now. Arsenal will be looking at this game, but I don't think that they should be starting Saka. And I don't think Mikel Arteta will pick Saka because they'll be looking all eyes to the Champions League final, where they face Carlo Ancelotti's side, Real Madrid. So I don't think that Mikel Arteta will be too bothered going into this game. They'll probably already think that they can win this game without Saka, but I don't think they can. And I think Everton will win. But wait and see in a minute when I give you my predictions and my starting lineup. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't think Saka will start, because I think they'll want to rest him because he's only just came back from injury as Martinelli is injured for the rest of the season. He was stretchered off in their game during the week last week. So he's out for the rest of the season. But they'll be looking at this game to see if they can win it, but I don't think they can. I think Everton will have too much fight because it's at home. So I think Everton will have too much fight to win them. So my predictions is going to be a 2-0 win to Everton, because we've got home advantage, and I think that will be too much for Arsenal, because 100% now Liverpool have won the league. Without a shadow of a doubt, they've won the league. Let's just get it out there now that Liverpool have won the league, sadly. But as I said, it is going to be a major, difficult game for the Toffees. But as I said, I do think that Everton will show more performance, more fight, more passion. And it's going to be really, really difficult at the end of the day. But I do have some glimmers of hope that we can win them. But it's going to be very, very difficult. As I said, I'm not saying that this is an easy free ride. It's not. But Arsenal aren't a really good side, as we've seen in recent games. They're poor away from home of late. And I think Mikel Arteta will be looking to the game against Real Madrid because they all want to win that Champions League. And I think because they won't win the league, they'll win that. So I do think that he'll be looking at that. But it is going to be a really, really difficult game. But at the end of the day, Tarky, Jared Branthwaite, Jake O'Brien, Vitaly Mikalenko again need to be at their very, very best for this football club, because we haven't had a win in ages, have we, Blues? So here's my starting lineup. In goal, Jordan Pickford, Jake O'Brien, Tarky, Vitaly, and I will go for maybe Ashley Young, but also I would maybe have in Ashley Young and give Tarky a rest. But then I would have actually no, I'd have Ashley Young at right back, in midfield, Jimmy Garner, Tim and Booman. Then I'd have on the left, I would have in Jai. Then I would have Amanda Breuer, and up front, Beto. to get us some goals. But it is going to be a really, really difficult game. But at the end of the day, I think that we've got enough to show character about us and what we're about at Goodison. The atmosphere is going to be rocking as it's the last 12:30 kick-off at Goodison Park at the Grand Old Lady. So let's make it a day to remember as we say goodbye to the Grand Old Lady, as we've only got 3 Premier League games left at Goodison Park after this one. 3 games left at the famous ground. So it is going to be an emotional, but let's make it a bear pit. Let's sing top of our voices. Make the roofs come off the Grand the Grand Old Lady, sorry guys. Let's make Goodison Park a day to really, 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 really remember. And I think that we will. It's going to be amazing. And I think, Blues, we will do it. We will do it. But as I said, we've got to be at our very best to compete with Arsenal like we were against Liverpool. If we could play like we did in the first half against Liverpool, then we will get our chances and we must take our chances. I cannot stress, we need to take our chances because we didn't against Liverpool and we should have won it. So, Berto needs to take his chances. Decore, do not start Jack Harrison because he's a poor shit championship player. He is awful. He can go back to Leeds at the end of the season, but if we get the 3 wins, then we'll be looking all of a sudden up the table a bit more and we'll be like, wow, we can actually win. Teams who are fighting for the league, like Liverpool, like Arsenal. Then we've got City. Then we're all of a sudden we're like, we can beat these. Build confidence, mentality, the momentum going into the game as well. Then all of a sudden, by Chelsea, do the same with them. Then all of a sudden you're looking up the league about what, 12th, 10th. If so, it's all about finishing the season really strongly. We all know that we're safe now. It's not mathematically done, but we are safe. It's easy to say we are safe. But as I said, it is going to be really, really tricky for Everton. But I know for a fact we can do it. And it's going to be really, really difficult because Wolves are fighting for the lives. Tottenham, and also Ipswich are down. Leicester are down and Southampton are definitely down. But as I've said, it will be a really, really, really tough game. But the Blues can do it. I can see we can do it. But it's going to be really, really hard. But at the end of the day, everyone is get up there, up the league a bit more and give Goodison Park the send-off it really, really deserves, then we can do it at Goodison. Let's make it a day to remember, to say goodbye to the Grand Old Lady. Because, as I said, the Grand Old Lady deserves a huge, huge credit of goodbye. And yet it's going to be an emotional day probably as well. I'll be very emotional. But as I said, let's make it a big fortunes, big contrasts, the lot. And if we do that, take our chances, then as I've said in recent, we will get rewards, and that'll be the win, the goals as we need. Let's hope the referee isn't going to be bollocks and costing us big fortunes. Let's get our acts together and let's give the grand old lady the send-off it deserves. And we can do that by winning on Saturday at 12:30. My score prediction then, Toffees, 2-0 Everton, 2-0 to the Blues, 0 to Arsenal. A clean sheet for David Moyes and for Everton. And we're going to do it at 12:30 with a 2-0 win. So let's do this, Blues. We haven't had a win in quite some time, have we? So it's about time that we pick ourselves up and we go out there at 12:30 and we put on a good shift and a great performance. And just maybe we'll grab the win. Let's do this, Toffees. Up the Toffees. Come on, Everton 2, Arsenal 0 at Goodison Park. We're doing this. Up the Toffees. See you later. Bye.